This week on a brand new episode of Strong Arm Sports Podcast.
You guys might legitimately have a problem. You have a star in Joel Embiid. As I said last week, he's the face of that franchise. And I think it's tough for him right now to see Jimmy Butler come in and be treated like the hero. Oh, Jimmy's here. Now we're a good team. This is what we needed. For Joel, he looking like, nah, I'm what we needed.
We supposed to be the losers, but we winning though. They used to laugh at us, now we winning though. They used to tell me never in my lifetime. I guess they wasn't in their right mind. Underdog.
What's going on, folks? Welcome back to another brand new exciting episode of Strong Arm Sports Podcast, the realest sports podcast in all the land. Look, man, we are back to wrap up the previous week of sports in dramatic fashion. No BS, no sugarcoat, no biases, only the strong arm truth. You know how we do. But in case you don't, if this happens to be the first time you guys have watched our show here on YouTube, if you're listening on any of our various podcast channels, I am one half of the show. I go by the name of K-Spade the Prospect. No LaParis today, no Statman D today. Tell them who I got with me.
It's your boy Stacks is in the building. And once again, just like last week, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys can agree. I'm going to put Spade right back under that table. I don't know how he climbed out from under the table. I put him under last week, but I'm here to go ahead and stuff him right back under that thing. You feel me? I'm here. I'm ready.
Better check them comments. It sounded like, based off what I saw in the comment section, it sounded like you was kind of under the table, but that's neither here nor there. Stacks, we're going to start today's show off talking about a little bit of NFL news. I like to say the best for last, so we're going to start off with the NFL. For this topic, let's go out to California. Let's talk about the Raiders. Now, I actually got two topics for the Raiders, so I'm going to throw both of them at you. But starting off with the Oakland Raiders, man, things ain't all copacetic over there. The Raiders are currently, I thought they was in a transition to move to Vegas. So for those that don't know, the Raiders are currently in a lease that ends this year. They were supposed to do one more year in Oakland for 2019, and then they was going to bolt to Vegas. Seemed okay. The only problem is now the city of Oakland has filed a lawsuit against the NFL and the Raiders organization saying that the move to Vegas is illegal because a $200 million plan to upgrade the Oakland Coliseum has not been brought to zero. Like, that plan ain't been brought to zero, and the citizens of Oakland gonna be left with whatever that remaining debt is. I don't even know what the debt is, Stacks, but I mean, I got a question, and if I know you like I feel like I know you, you thinking the same thing I am. If the lease was up in 2018 and then $200 million, if that ain't been brought to zero, somebody did something wrong on the paperwork, right? Like, how the lease up but the debt ain't? How that work?
That's what I'm thinking too. It is like, honestly, man, I think this is just a bunch of salt. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, when it comes to Oakland sports right now, they losing the Raiders, obviously. And then the Warriors about to move to a new building. Yep. So, I'm pretty sure they're salty right now.
They moving out the city, too.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure they salty right now, and they trying to hang on to anything they possibly can. I just want to ask you this question, all right? How long have we known about the Raiders move to Vegas? How long have we known about that?
It's been a cool year at least, bro.
And why is this just now coming up? Why are we just now figuring out about this? It's like they trying to fall, like they've been searching through the papers for this past year to find any type of reason they could keep the Raiders here, and they're like, all right, we have this right here. You still, man, listen. How much do they even owe? Like you said, you don't even know how much they even Spade. How we know it ain't $5? You know how Martin said he ain't trying to pay the $5 to get his heat turned back up. How we know it ain't $5?
I don't think it's $5, bro.
How we know it ain't $5?
I don't think it's $5.
Because it's just the timing of it that is just hilarious. Like, the timing of this is what makes this whole thing so funny. Where is this coming from out of nowhere? This is crazy, man. I don't know. They got to go somewhere with that, man. Raiders going to Vegas. They can't do nothing to stop it, Spade. It's over. The Warriors leaving. The Raiders leaving. They can't. Hey, them A's,
they can't, man. But it's still one thing I don't understand. We still don't know whether the Raiders going to play home football next season. Now, I feel like next season will be here before we know it. We basically at the end of this season. Yeah. And currently the Raiders don't have a lease to play home football anywhere next season. It can't be Vegas. It's too early to be Vegas. It don't seem like it's going to be Oakland. I don't know if they're going to spend a year in San Diego where the Chargers used to be. Nobody knows. And it almost seems like nobody really even care. Look, I know Raiders fans, they travel well. Look, man, I went to a Dolphin game in Miami against the Raiders. That shit was like 50-50. It's like it was equally as many Raider fans as Miami fans. So I get it. The Raider fans is going to travel. But damn, what y'all going to call yourselves for the year? Like, I don't know. That whole thing is crazy. When you look at the fact that the Cowboys season has been restored by a trade that I feel like the Raiders probably shouldn't have made. Mm-hmm. The Bears season has been restored by a trade I feel like the Raiders shouldn't have made. Mm-hmm. I think the GM was just let go. Wasn't that the GM? I might have to look that up, but I believe that was the GM that was just let go. I don't know what's going on with the Raiders, man, but if all that ain't crazy enough, the second little tidbit I got from the Raiders is wide receiver Martavis Bryant got suspended again for substance abuse. How many times do we get, bro?
Man, listen, it's so hard when you talk about substance abuse because, you know, the whole idea of addiction comes into play, and is, you know, that's always just sensitive to really get into. So I don't know, Spade. Like, at some point you would think a grown man playing the game that he loves, he said he loves, for a living would at some point get it together to where he don't have to worry about things like this. But it's I don't know, man. The Raiders just been having a tough year, like you said. Nobody even cares. The last thing I heard about the Raiders is that like the owner don't even got the bread like that. Like he don't even got money like the rest of the owners in the league. Like how is all of this so sloppy? Like so sloppily done? Like who do they actually have making the decisions for them to where they didn't finish paying off a debt for a new stadium? And they getting sued, and your man's trading away players like it's nothing. Like, yo, I was talking to my dad the other day, right? And I asked him, who would you say are the greatest Raiders of all time? And he named a couple people, right? And I'm saying, arguably, Khalil Mack was the third greatest Raider of all time, and you just trade him away. So you are the guy that is traded away, the third greatest Raider of all time. You, Spade, man, listen. I don't know what's going on over there in Oakland, but obviously it's nothing good.
Dumpster fire.
Because their teams is getting up out of there. But at least they still got the A's. You feel me? The A's going to hold it down. You know what I'm saying? They're going to keep the city alive. And, you know, hopefully whoever watching baseball, you know what I'm saying, could, you know, have that Oakland pride. But right now it ain't looking too good.
It looks terrible, bro. It's a dumpster fire. If it's any Oakland fans, this is the worst time for Statman D to not be on the show, because this man is a Raider fan, born and raised in the Bay. He loves his Raiders. I need a Raider fan to tell me a couple of things. One, man, what's this balance? Like, what? I'm with Stacks. Like, are we? What if it's like $100,000? Come on, man. Throw that on them taxes, man. California, it's dumb how to live in Cali anyway. They ain't going to even recognize that difference. Go ahead and clear that debt. Where y'all going to play next year? Do the fans care? And go ahead and let these guys go to Vegas. Y'all going to travel over there anyway and gamble and wear all that black and that hot-ass desert. Y'all going to do all that weird stuff anyway. Let them go.
You know what? I can't say the Raiders fans don't care, because I feel like the Raiders have some of the craziest fans,
most loyal
in
fans
the league. So I can't completely say that they don't care, but this whole situation is just a mess. It's just a mess, Spade, and it's like how do you not know where you playing next? Like, so all right, when they move to Vegas, are they still gonna be wearing the silver and black? Like, is that a sure thing?
I feel like
they might come out here looking like slot machines. They might come out here with the, you know what I'm saying? It might look funny. It might look funny. What's the first color I think of when I think of Vegas is gold. I don't know why. Think of gold. They might be out there with the silver and gold on or something. I don't know.
They can't, man. They can't. They can't. Now, look, they might have some fly alternates. They might get some fly alternates that might have some gold in it. The Raiders got to be the silver and black attack. They got to be.
Hopefully,
Let's
hopefully
get
they can get one thing right.
Get on it. They got to. Also, man, while we talking NFL, I just talked about San Diego because they just gave up their charges. They didn't want to. The city of San Diego actually wanted the Chargers, and the Chargers, for whatever reason, man, they had to get up out of there. They went to LA. I felt like that was weird. The Rams in LA, the Chargers in LA, and LA just embraced the Rams. They hugged. They look. You seen that video of Obama like dapping up some folks and then shaking some folks' hands real?
Yeah.
Listen, man, LA dapped up them Rams, bruh, and gave them Chargers that corporate handshake and said, hey, how you doing? Like, LA don't really love the Chargers, but maybe that's going to change. Look, man, the Chargers' first game of the season was against the Chiefs. And the Chiefs came out and took care of business. And for the longest, everybody was saying, ooh, look like Rams and Chiefs could possibly be a Super Bowl preview. Like, they're the two best teams. And that still could be the case. But after the game that just played this past Thursday night, where the Chargers looked like they was down bad, fought back on the arm of the gunslinger, Phillip. Look, man, I ain't a huge Phillip fan. I don't know if you are. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. I'm not a huge Phillip fan. But on his gunslinging arm, these guys was able to come back, get a big-time win, and Phillip Rivers and his Chargers could possibly be the best team in the AFC. I'm going to put you on the hot seat, Stacks. I'm gonna put your reputation on the line. Are the Chargers right now, in your opinion, the best team in the AFC?
No. They are not the best team in the AFC. Because
they split with the Chiefs?
And no, I wouldn't say that. I would honestly, if I had to rank my top 4 AFC teams, it would probably be Kansas City, number 1, Patriots, then Pittsburgh, and then the Chargers. And I know the Chargers beat Pittsburgh recently, but I still got Pittsburgh there. If you pay attention to the game against the Chiefs, there was a drop pick that would have been Phillip Rivers' 3rd interception in that game. So the drop pick obviously played a huge part in them coming back. Also, that Chiefs defense, I feel like the Chiefs defense, if they don't make it to the Super Bowl, their defense is going to be the reason why. It just happens every single time. It's like I don't know what is wrong there. They got Eric Berry back. I feel like he made some sort of an impact, but obviously it didn't make a big enough impact for them to go ahead and win the game. The blown coverage at the end when they going for Spade, how do you do that? How do you do something like that? Like it was just
Phillip damn Rivers. That's how.
It was ugly. It was ugly, and I feel bad for Mahomes because right now I got him as my MVP, and it's tough to be able to put up this amount of points, right? Because usually in the NFL you could get to 30 points, 28, 30 points. You know, a lot of those times you're gonna win that game. You feel me? But with this Chiefs defense, you got to go a little bit more than that in order to win these games. Yeah. And it's like, how long can you continue to put up those many points? That's not something that's just going to happen every single game. You know what I'm saying? And at this point, the way it is like if Mahomes have a bad game, it's over. Like there's no Chiefs defense saving them. It's over. And I think this was probably the 2nd or 3rd time where the Chiefs defense folded to the point to Mahomes couldn't even get back on the field to be able to try to win the game. And what's crazy is like even watching these games, you can tell that the teams they playing against know this because a bunch of times they go for it on 4th. They go for a 2-point convergence to win the game because they know they do not want to see Mahomes back on the field. So they're going to go ahead and test that weak defense to go ahead and try to win a game. And to this point, it just never fails. It just never fails. That defense is horrible.
You started this show talking about putting me under the table, which is a bold claim anyway, you know. But I don't even have to put you on you just put your damn self under the table. You say you got the Chiefs been the best team in the AFC, and then you spent the rest of that time shredding their defense to pieces. The defense has been Swiss cheese all season long. That is nothing new. They're not winning because of their defense. They're winning in spite of their defense. And everybody know the saying, Stacks. Defense wins championships. I'm old, but I ain't old enough to have made that shit up. That was around longer than me. Let me give you some stats, bro. The Chiefs' defense has given up 380 points so far this season, and only 2 teams in the AFC have given up more points. The Raiders, who we just called a dumpster fire, and then the Cincinnati Bengals, who, as much as I like Marvin Lewis, they're a dumpster fire. You know, we just talked about they also got A.J. Green, who's gone for the season after he missed 3 games and then came back. I'm not saying that A.J. Green is the reason why they've given up a whole lot of points, but I want to believe it's got something to do with it. I mean, if the offense sends it moving the ball and you keep putting the defense back on the field, it's a good chance they're going to give up a lot of points. Meanwhile, the Chargers, after starting off a little slow, I think the Chargers won 9 of their next 10 games. They're currently on a 4-game win streak. And their defense has given up less than 300 points. And yet, you got them 4th. Not only did you disrespect them and not make them 1st, you got them 4th.
Do you see this? The Chiefs' offense is beyond dynamic. The Chiefs' quarterback is beyond dynamic. And when those two things mix, if you look at the NFL these days, not a lot of people is playing defense. It's not a lot of teams.
I mean, they're doing a better damn job than the Chiefs.
Some of the reasons why teams are ranked in the top 10 in defense is because ain't nobody playing defense, and that's just happened to be where they land at. So nobody's really playing defense. And when you can go out there and you can put up 40, 50, whenever need be, then of course I gotta have you as number 1. If you look, all right, let's have this comparison. Let's have this comparison right quick.
Disrespectful is what it is.
Let's talk about this right quick, Spade. If you got a guy that's out here dropping, let's say a cool 30 points per game, right? In the NBA.
Yep.
And then you got a guy that's gonna give you about 18 and he play defense. What guy you taking, Spade? What guy are you taking? You taking Devin Booker or Danny Green? Who you taking? Who you taking?
Bro, this ain't a one-on-one. What are you trying to do here?
Who you taking? This is the point I'm trying to make. The Chiefs right now is Devin Booker, and the Chargers is Danny Green. So you're gonna take a whole
22-man roster and make him one NBA player? I can't.
Who you taking, Spade?
I can't rock.
Danny Green or Devin Booker?
What I'm taking is the Los Angeles Chargers. That's what I'm taking. As of right now, today, they are the best team in the AFC.
Spade.
And it damn sure ain't the Patriots.
Spade,
it damn sure ain't the Patriots. Have you seen how Tom Brady been playing this year?
He threw 2 picks in that game. Spade, how can you rock with a guy that's going to throw? You know what? More power to you, Spade. You know, and for your sake,
you an Eli Manning fan.
And for your
sake.
You like
Eli. He throw picks in his sleep.
Oh, no, that's not true at all, Spade. That's not true at all. Have you seen my man Eli this year?
I have, and it's been tough to watch. It's been tough to watch.
All right, since we're on top, what part of it been hard to watch? I just want to know your opinion.
Every part other than him turning around and handing that shit off to Saquon Barkley. Everything else has been tough to watch. Okay?
My man Eli leads the league in first half throwing percentage.
Checking it down to Saquon. We know who the real hero is.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
I didn't figure you would.
Everybody that been talking about Eli this year, I've been on their head because it just ain't true. It just ain't true. Having his highest completion percentage of his career, but we gonna get back to these Chargers, man. Chargers, the number 2 team in LA, obviously, and the number 4 team in the AFC. I do want to say this. The margin between 4th and number 1, though, for me, isn't like a huge margin. It isn't like, the Chiefs are way up here and then the Chargers are way down there. It's close. You know how sometimes in the Western Conference and the NBA, the number 1 seed and the number 8 seed could be separated by as many as 6 games?
A few games.
Yeah, it's close like that for me. I don't think it's like a huge separation, and I don't think it's a situation where it's like if the Chargers play the Chiefs or anybody play the Chargers, it's like guaranteed that these other 3 teams are going to beat them. I think all games could go either way or can be close enough to where, one team just edges it out. I don't think it's a huge separation, but I do have the Chargers 4th. That just happened to be where they land at.
You better be glad that I got producers in my ear telling me that we need to stay on the time schedule. Because there's so many ways I want to go right now. For one, the fact that you put the Steelers above these guys without Le'Veon Bell, that you are already telling me that you don't value Le'Veon. Are you saying that the Steelers without Le'Veon Bell better than the team that got the best record in the AFC? And it's so much to unpack from this.
Actually, the second best record.
I'm just going to end it with...
record. Chiefs still got the best record.
It's not the second best record. It is not the second best record. They're 11-3. It's the best record.
The Chiefs are 11-3.
Okay, so
and they win the tiebreaker.
2-way tie.
No, they got the tiebreaker, so they still number 1 in the AFC.
They don't have.
They do have the tiebreaker. They won more division
because
games.
they only got 1 division loss. Got you.
Yep. So
anyway, I just told you who the best thing. Listen, anybody who live in LA, the city of LA, how mad would you be if you found out that you bro hugged the wrong team?
Oh, they definitely did it. I'm taking the Rams over the Chiefs every time. Every time. It's not a day I will ever wake up and say, you know what, I'm gonna take the Chargers today over the Rams. That would never happen. They went to the right.
That'll never happen.
No, it never happened. Well, as of right now, you know what? I feel comfortable enough saying for the next 10 years the Rams are always gonna be better than the Chiefs. They got their quarterback of the future.
Hell no.
They got their quarterback of the future. Phillip Rivers out of here in a few years. Like, he ain't hanging around here for much longer.
Bro, the Rams roster out of here in a few years. The only reason why they got this good team this year is because they got everybody on rookie deals and they was able to pay everybody. That ain't gonna last long. So I give them 2 more years at the max, and then that whole team gonna get
currently on their roster. The only person that is of some importance that's not paid is Jared Goff. Once he get paid, Sue gonna be out of here? He's gonna be trash anyway. When it's time to pay Jared Goff. Oh, who else gonna be out of here? Marcus Peters is already paid. They pay Gurley. What's the other receiver? Cook. They paid him. They paid Aaron Donald. Like who else gonna get paid? Aqib Talib. He gonna be out of here. So I mean, besides getting rid of those,
all it takes is Goff to get his money, and something got to give. You see what type of contracts quarterbacks getting right now?
Oh yeah, I see it. That's why I got
So it's a
I got King already working on it. You know what I'm saying? He already getting the storm motion right.
No, man. We need King out there swinging that baseball bat. That's that 401k money for you and I. We can retire when King start hitting these home runs. Anyway, let's get out the NFL, man. If I hang out in the NFL for too long, I start feeling icky. Let's go to the association.
Oh yeah.
The best league in professional sports. The NBA, the league that I love. Let's go there and let's talk about Joel Embiid. Now, we talked about this guy last week, and we talked about the fact that he said he didn't like his new role. He didn't like his new role. Now, Stacks tried to take up for him and said, actually, Joel Embiid said that he wasn't talking about Jimmy Butler. Joel, you might got Stacks fooled. You ain't got me fooled, bro. You ain't got me fooled. We still talking Joel Embiid for the second week in a row. This time, after a loss, man, I don't know what team they lost to, but after a loss, Joel Embiid said, we make every guard we face look like freaking Hall of Famers. And everybody was on Joel's head because they was like, if you look at that game, all they did was PNR with the big. So the guards that was going off because of you. That was Joel slow rotating. That was Joel not stepping up off of that pick. It was him. But this is how it starts. It starts off with you saying, hey, I don't really like my role. Then it go to, man, when we play guards go off. Anytime a player say we make guards or we make a certain position, that's them basically throwing teammates under the bus. It ain't no nice way to, you can't fix this up. That's Joel Embiid throwing teammates under the bus saying, hey, they not doing their job. They not doing a good job. He said, whenever we face guards, we make every guard we face. Oh, I think it was the Nets, if I'm not mistaken. You might want to, damn Statman D, we need you here today. I think it was the Nets that they played. But anyway. After that.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. And Spencer Dinwiddie put up about 39 points or something like that. Career high.
Exactly. Yeah. Dinwiddie went didn't witty on him. He went witty on him. And Joel was a little salty after the game. But Joel Embiid bounced back and had this great game, had a career game, like 40 points, 20 boards, and they lost. And I'm like, oh, you got to keep an eye on this. Because if you look at what Jimmy Butler just left from, those guys was having better numbers before Jimmy got there. We talked about on this very podcast, Wiggins came out and said that he didn't like his role after Jimmy Butler got there. Wiggins had his best ever season the year before Jimmy Butler got there, and they didn't make the postseason. You bring in Jimmy, his numbers go down to make the postseason. Everybody should be happy, but they weren't. Now you bring him to Philly. Everybody goes, this is going to be a great fit. This is what they need. And I'm starting to see early signs that, again, it might be I don't know, it might be too big of egos. There's not enough basketball to go around. I think it's a funny coincidence that Joel Embiid's career high game led to a loss. Stacks, defend your boy, man, if you dare.
The way the league is going, right, is getting a lot younger. You know, like a lot of the older guys are on the way out. And I feel like it's like that every year. Get a whole bunch of younger guys, and, you know, they about to abolish the one-and-done rule, so the league is going to get even younger at that point. And the thing about the young guys is that they want to win, but they want to win their way. They don't want to win the way that might be more efficient for them to win. Like you taking a step back, you know what I'm saying? Like Joel Embiid's numbers was going down a little bit, but they were getting the dub in the same way you talking about Andrew Wiggins' numbers went down a little bit. They made the playoffs. They don't necessarily want to win that way. And they don't know, and they don't have a veteran around them to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to sacrifice what I'm doing out here in order to make the team even better. And a great example of that is Wade, Bosh, and Miami. They know everybody out there trying to get theirs wasn't going to be the way they was going to win. Putting the ball in LeBron's hands, Wade sacrificing his role, Chris Bosh really sacrificing his role, and honestly kind of being like a scapegoat, because whenever they lost, they put the blame on Bosh a lot of the times. It's like, you got to be, I feel like you got to be mature enough to handle those type of situations. And I feel like right now, Joel Embiid isn't at that point in his career where he could be willing to sacrifice, his numbers in order to win. I mean, a lot of guys will say they are because they're supposed to say that, but not a lot of guys are really willing to do that. And I understand it, because right now, how old is Joel Embiid? I think we said 24 last time or something like that. But
24.
Yeah, when you that age, you still, you want to do everything. You feel like you can score 50 every single night. You step out there on the court. You want all of these awards, and it's not really about, I mean, obviously you want to win a title, but it's not really about that right now. You know what I'm saying? Because you feel like you got years to go in this game. I mean, it's always about that, but when you one of these younger players, for a young guy, being 24 in the league is mostly about, having fun, and, going out there and try to get the best numbers you possibly can. Now, once you get up there a little bit more, and we're like, once again, just to go back to Miami, LeBron said, you know what, it's time for me to start getting rings now. And I feel like it comes a point in every NBA player's career, if it don't happen early, they come and like, you know what, it might be time for me to start trying to win championships now. And I just feel like Joel Embiid just might not be at that point right now. And that's kind of what's the problem, I feel like.
I think you're right. I agree. I think it's a bigger issue than you making it sound. You're making it sound like he's just a little young right now, and if he be around a little longer, he'll understand the importance of it, and he'll be good. And you might be right, but I think it's bigger than that. I think some people are wired some way, and some people are wired differently. I think Joel Embiid, like I said on last week's show, he stated before this season started he wanted to win the MVP this year. I think he had his mind made up that we probably a few pieces away from being a championship team. Since we're not a championship team, I need to get mine. And I think that's where his priorities lay. And Jimmy Butler did not play in this game. I feel like Joel Embiid definitely wanted to go out there and make a statement that I can put up these types of numbers right here if Jimmy Butler not in my way. Like, if you give me my touches, this is what I can do night in and night out. And the sad reality is he went off, but he didn't make anybody on that team better. He had 6 turnovers. Granted, he had 40 points, 21 boards. He had 3 assists and a steal. He only had 1 block, but he had the 4 personal fouls. He had 6 turnovers. And the other thing I want to bring up is when you tell somebody that Joel Embiid had that type of game and they lost to the Pacers, everybody you tell that to is going to think that Depot went crazy. But Depot had a bad game. He was 5 of 16. He only had 14 points. Who killed him was Thad Young, who's been in this league forever. Thad Young been in this league since Latrell Sprewell. I don't know if that's true. I just reached on that. But he's been in the league for 11 years, bro. He's been around for a very long time. And Thad Young threw the Pacers on his back and carried them to a victory. And I hate to say this to Pacer Nation. The Pacers are on fire. I think they won 4 or 5 games in a row. But listen, the Pacers ain't that team. So, Joel, if you go out and have that type of game and lose to the Pacers, y'all need Jimmy. Like, that should be the slap in the face you need. That, okay, y'all can go out here and go crazy. But that ain't going to get us where we want to be. And ultimately, man, I think it's early, but keep an eye on this, man. Joel Embiid might be a little too selfish. This might be Minnesota 2.0. Yeah. It might be the same situation.
Yeah, maybe. That's what it's looking like.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I hope they get it together. I do kind of have a good time poking Philadelphia 76er fans. But on this one right here, I'm actually not even trying to be a troll. You guys might legitimately have a problem. You have a star in Joel Embiid. As I said last week, he's the face of that franchise. And I think it's tough for him right now to see Jimmy Butler come in and be treated like the hero. Oh, Jimmy's here. Now we're a good team. This is what we needed. For Joel, he looking like, nah, I'm what we needed. I'm the process. I'm the face of the franchise. We don't need Jimmy. I can do all that. And that attitude, if he's truly feeling that way, it's going to cause problems in the long run. But that's all I got for the 76ers, Stacks. If you got more, otherwise, man, let's get out of Philly.
Nah, man, I pretty much say what I had to say about it.
This next topic right here is a little sad for me, man. Anytime I see somebody come from, college notoriety and they go to the league, I want them to have a little bit of success, man. I want everybody to win, And things ain't looking too good for Jabari Parker. Jabari Parker come out of college the same year as Andrew Wiggins. They were drafted 1 and 2. Both of those guys had high praise. Jabari, I felt like, had the more NFL-ready body, so we expected more from Jabari. And it started off looking like we was going to get that. But then some injuries kind of derailed his progression. Got hurt a few times there in Milwaukee, and every time he came back, he would come back and look like he still was going to be that guy, and then he would get another injury. And I was like, man, if they can get him healthy, I still think he's got potential. And Chicago must have thought that as well. Chicago made some moves. They acquired Jabari Parker. And this year, Jabari was set to kind of be a guy to help rebuild that Chicago team. Zach LaVine's back from injury. He's been playing great. Hell, you looking like whatever Chicago did for LaVine, he came back and he looks good. Maybe that training staff can get with Jabari Parker and make it shake. It didn't really work out, Stacks. It didn't really work out. Now, I don't know what the expectation was. We talked about this last week. It's really not a great team. Like, they don't have a great team out there. So I don't know what the expectation was. They've already fired a coach in Fred Hoiberg. It looks as though the players don't like the new coach. Right after they brought the new coach in, they got beat by like a gazillion points. It was something like 1,000,000-0. I'm definitely exaggerating, but they got beat really bad. And I read an article that said, this is what a team looked like when they don't like their new coach. Like, this team quit. They weren't trying. It looked like their game plan was to make the new guy look bad. Like, this guy ain't going to motivate us to play any harder than the coach you just fired. Don't know if that's really true. I just read that in an article. So I'm like, damn, it came across my phone. It was like the Bulls have removed Jabari Parker from rotation. Like, he will not get in their rotation. They've decided that they need to look elsewhere on their team for production. And not long after that, it came out Jabari Parker was demanding a trade. Like, I mean, that's the next thing to happen. If I'm not playing, what the hell am I going to be here for? So I went and looked at his numbers, and I'm like, damn, he's not playing bad. He's second on the team in scoring. He averaging 15 points a game. he's averaging 7 boards a game and 2 dimes. He's not playing bad at all. I don't know if his play style is bogging these guys down or if it's a situation where they like, he's technically a 4. When Lauri Markkanen is healthy, he's a 4. We don't feel like we need him. They got Bobby Portis, who we already know Bobby Portis had been playing really well. I don't know. Maybe it's just a situation where they felt like now that we've been able to evaluate everything we got, we don't need him. I don't know. Stacks, I ask you a couple of questions. One, is it over for Jabari Parker? And if it's not, man, what do you see a team out there that can take Jabari and help him kind of be who everybody thought he was going to be when he came to the league?
No, I don't think it's over for him at all. But unfortunately, the contract looks crazy, right? And you got to start to think, what type of team would pick him up? Because it's like, all right, well, I'm thinking he getting around like $10 million a year or something like that. I think he got like a 3-year, $30-something million contract. So you got to start thinking, like, at this point, what kind of team would pick him up? A contender? A rebuilding team? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, just to get back to your original point, I don't know why he fell out of rotation. Like you said, he wasn't playing bad. I didn't catch enough Chicago Bulls games to really, analyze and focus in on exactly what was happening there. But I feel like you kind of got it a little bit when saying that maybe his play style just doesn't fit the team. Obviously, they like what they're getting out of Zach LaVine. He's proven that he might be a superstar in the next few years to come, perennial all-star at least. And once Lauri Markkanen get back, we seen what he did his rookie season, and they hoping that he can follow that up with another good sophomore season. So maybe they kind of have a direction of where they want to take the team. And like you said, once they evaluated everything with Jabari Parker and see what he brings to the table, they realized he not really what they thought they wanted. And so maybe the direction of the team is way different from what Jabari Parker brings. So honestly, I don't know what's going to go on. Hopefully he gets traded to a better situation. You never want to see a player with that type of talent just be, wasted and sitting out on the bench for a year. So hopefully he gets traded somewhere where he can definitely play and show his talents. But it's tough to kind of really think of a team that would take on a contract and take on that type of player. I don't know.
I'm lost, man. I mean, you know how old Jabari is, Stacks? He's 23, bro.
Yeah.
He's been in the league, it seemed like 3-4 years. This kid is only 23, dog. The Bulls just signed him to a 2-year, $40 million contract.
Okay, there you go. Oof. 2 years,
he's scoring
40.
16 points a game, but he's only shooting 29% from 3. He's turning the ball over 3 times a game. He also ranks 422nd in the league in plus or minus. He's currently minus 2.5.
It's hard to really, take plus minus into account when you're playing on a trash team like the Bulls that get blown out by 40. So
it does. I agree with that. And for people saying like, well, he's only shooting 29% from 3. I mean, he was never billed as a stretch. He was never billed as a 3-point shooter. Never. Now, if you want to say because of the injuries, maybe he lacked some of that athletic explosion that he had, but he's 23. You just, I don't know, man.
It's
while
tough
you was talking,
see,
I was
man.
looking.
Yeah, it's tough to see. And like I said, the contract is crazy. I didn't know like the full details of it, but now that you say 2 years, 40 million, that's a tough contract to just trade. Like, I don't know. Like, who exactly going to be going after that contract for the type of production that he actually brings onto the court? The way the league is going now, you got to be able to shoot the 3 ball, and nobody trying to play $20 million for a guy that's not going to be able to hit the 3 for him. So, I don't know. What situation do you think is more likely to happen? Him sit on the bench the rest of the year, if not at least play in Chicago for the rest of the year, or you think he out of there, man? And if he's out of there, where you think he going?
Well, I'm going to tell you, you just got through saying Chicago's just a bad team, and they are. Chicago can't get right. Right after they said, and they announced it, they was like, Jabari Parker's out of our rotation. Like, paid this kid $20 million this year, and we're not liking the production we're getting from him. He's out of our rotation. Right after that, Zach LaVine hurt his ankle. Oof. Now they like, shit, Jabari, you think you trying to suit up? So they already done messed up. Now they ruined the relationship with the kid who, like I said, wasn't playing bad. Like I don't know what they expected from him. He wasn't playing bad. So I want to see that 3-point percentages. Let me pull this up right quick.
Well, I did see,
take a gander.
And I did see a report too that the Bulls were taking trade offers for Jabari Parker. They was listening out for trade offers for him. So yeah, it's a tough situation.
I don't know, man.
And once that type of news get out publicly, it's hard to really feel comfortable in that building.
Now, as far as his contract though, it's a 1-1. It's a 2-year contract, but it's a team option on that second year. Not a player option, a team option. So that trade, somebody will scoop that trade. I feel like somebody will scoop that trade.
Nice expiring
he's shooting 29% from. Who would?
I said a nice and expiring contract.
Oh yeah. Somebody will take a chance on that, bro. He's shooting 29% from 3, but Zach LaVine is shooting 33%. Not a whole lot better. Yeah. Bobby Portis shooting 33. Larry Markkinen is shooting 34. And then you jump up Holiday at 39. I don't even know how to say this kid's name at 40. And then Blakely is basically shooting 45%. But there's so many guys on the team shooting worse. Wendell Carter Jr. is shooting 21%. Lopez, granted he's a center, he's shooting 22%. They got a point guard named Shaq Harrison shooting 24%. Chandler Hutchison, 25%, Cameron Payne, 27%, and Chris Dunn, 29%. It's other guys on that team. They're not a great three-point shooting team from the looks of it. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I feel like something must have happened behind the scenes. I can't look at his performance and be like, yeah, they need to move him. Then again, we don't have LaParis on the show, who's the Bulls fans, who probably watches more Bulls games than me and Stacks put together. I'm looking at it, man. Somebody's going to give him a shot. I don't know what that team is, but a 23-year-old former number 2 overall pick who has bounced back from injury and still proven that he can put the ball in the hoop, somebody will scoop him up. I hope so anyway. I hope so. Jabari, I hope you land on your feet, bro, and when you do, every time you play Chicago, give them that work. Give them at least a 30-piece.
Facts.
Every time you play them. Trash-ass Bulls. Anyway, let's move forward, bro. I got this thing set up nice, man. Just talked about the Bulls, and when I think of the Chicago Bulls, I think about Michael, Jeffrey, Jordan.
Young Jeff.
Jordan back in the news, bro.
Ooh.
He back in the news, Stack, but not for hooping. Not for hooping. MJ did something in a game that only MJ could pull off as a team. I can't see any other I'm going to go ahead and say what everybody's thinking. If a white team owner did what MJ did, man, the conversation would be completely different today. For those who don't know, man.
It might have been.
Bro, ain't no might have been. You know it would be a completely different conversation if we saw that. You know it. The Hornets was in a hard-fought game, man. The Hornets had the best season. Things was going good, man. They was in a game. They was looking great. Stacks, do you know who they was playing in that game? Because I don't have it pulled up.
Yeah, they were playing. Actually, I don't know who they were playing. I don't know.
All right, look it up. I'm going to talk.
Okay.
Nah, you good. So, toward the end of the game, it looked like the Hornets was about to win. Damn, I almost want to say it was the Pistons. That's who it was. Man, they come out and played great, you know. This team right here, they're a scrappy team. They had been sub 500. They wanted this win. They needed this win.
Needed it.
It was a tie game, and Jeremy Lamb made the game-winning shot to give them the lead.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then the officials came back to review to see if he got the shot off in time, and that's when they saw Malik Monk running onto the court before time expired. And that's what gave, and the shot counted, but that's what gave the Pistons the technical shots. So they come back, they're watching to see if the shot got off in time, and they noticed that Malik Monk stepped on the court, which you cannot do before time expired. Yeah. And it gave the opposing team technical shots. You know, they got a chance to shoot free throws for Tex. And MJ just had like an uncle moment. Like he couldn't help himself. Once they realized what happened and they put somebody on the charity stripe that could have tied the game up, MJ couldn't control himself. He reached over and he like popped Malik Monk upside the back of his head. It was so funny. He did it like that was his kid. Like, you can't do that to nobody but your kid. You can't really do that shit to other folks' kids. That shit is frowned upon. MJ popped this man in the back of his head, and you could just tell in his body language, he just was like, what were you thinking? Like, he kind of went off on Malik Monk. It worked out, though. The Pistons went to the charity stripe, only made 1 of 2 free throws, if I remember. I'm probably jacking this all up. But the story is that MJ popped Malik Monk upside the back of the head. Stacks, what did you think when you saw it, bro?
All right, before I get into it, right, in MJ's defense, I do want to say, like, if if people watch the full clip, they did have a little laugh about it afterwards. So they kind of, it wasn't nothing serious. But what I took from that clip, man, that just let me know MJ definitely used to be beating his teammates up back in the day. It ain't no way you could tell me Steve Kerr, the only teammate he done punched in the face back in the day. If he just Spade, it just came so naturally to just do that to him. Because it's funny because the first one he missed, and you could tell he was kind of hot. He was kind of hot about it, so he lured him back in with a little bit of conversation, and then he went ahead and lit that neck up. You feel me? We had to go ahead and smack that neck up, but it was definitely probably gonna be one of the top funniest moments of the NBA season, man. That was some good stuff, and somebody told me on Twitter, man, it just seemed like everything Michael Jordan do just seems to be iconic. You feel it? Just seems to be iconic. Just this seemed like one of those moments that would have been iconic. But I'm telling you right now, Spade, that was me. If that man would have smacked me in the back of my head like that, he would have had to catch 2 hands, Spade. Right there.
Nah, that's not how it would happen.
Nah, that's how it was gonna happen, Spade. I would have swung on him. Hey, man, listen, you did what you did. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. You feel me? And if you don't like it, then you do something else. That's just how it would have went.
You'd have felt that smack, and you would have turned around like, who the hell's... Mike. That's all you would have been able to do. You'd have dapped him up. Man. You'd have laughed it off, because that's Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Yo, and you know Mike got them big hands. He got them big hands. He smacked him back of the head. He probably gripped his whole head when he smacked him, Spade.
When asked about it, MJ said that the tap, I like that he called it the tap, bro. Mm-hmm. He said the tap was a endearment. That was endearment. That was a love tap right there. It was a tap of endearment. Mm-hmm. And I actually believe that. You could look at MJ like it wasn't, he didn't go Bobby Knight. You know what I'm saying? Man. But it was just funny because MJ was really like, he was pissed.
Let's ask Steve Kerr what his was like. I heard, you know what's crazy? Did you hear about the whole story that happened behind the Steve Kerr punch?
I didn't.
I heard it was because Steve Kerr actually named his son Nick, and Michael Jordan wasn't really feeling that. So,
no way.
Nah.
Stop it.
Nah, but Steve Kerr really did name his son Nick though. He has a son named Nick. And it's not Nicholas, it's Nick. So, I just want to put that out.
So what's his whole name, Stacks?
I mean,
What's his name, Stacks?
Man, what's the name? Yo,
tell us.
What we getting on to? Hey,
what's his name, Stacks?
His name Nick.
Nick what, Stacks?
Nick Kerr. That's his name.
That's his name.
Yo, Spade, man, chill out.
You got to go, bro.
I'm trying to be on my best behavior, man. Next time I'm up here, I'm gonna wear a suit and tie, just to let everybody know I'm really trying to be on my best behavior. You trying to pull the worst out of me, man.
Bro, you got to do better. First of all,
pull the worst out of me.
I'm thinking about something. No, you brought that. I never heard that story, bro. I never knew he even had a son. You brought that up. Now I got to do my Googles.
He does really have a son named Nick.
Wow, bro. Wow. You just cracked a joke about wearing a shirt and a tie. Reminded me that last episode was our 200th episode. So normally on our 100th episode, we dressed up and we tried to make it look like, like TV sports anchors. And our supporter Stacks, they ain't got no sense. Instead of them being like, for the 100th show, they came out here and got professional on us. All they did was roast us. Fired us up for the whole episode. Said we look like customer service sales reps and all kind of shit. Roasted us for the entire damn show.
I got
this year, y'all wasn't getting that. Y'all wasn't getting dressed up for the 200th episode. But I do want to take the time to thank y'all. we got a small core group that really rock with us. They hit us up every week like, where's the podcast? And y'all been here. Some of y'all been here for all 200 episodes. That's pretty damn dope. Want to make sure I shout y'all out. But this next topic, man, let's talk trades, man. A big trade happened this week, and it almost didn't happen. It was pretty weird. So for those that don't know, the Washington Wizards was trying to get Trevor Ariza. Like, they really wanted Trevor Ariza. And they was going to have to shop Kelly Oubre to make it happen. Now, at some point, they was able to get that deal to happen, but it's the way it didn't happen that kind of had everybody cracking up. Stacks, did you hear about this?
Yes, and it was when the trade first went through, I'm like, oh man, this is the first trade of the season. It was an exciting moment. And then about 10, 15 minutes later, I got the notification that the trade was called off because a little bit of confusion that happened on the end of the with the Suns and the Grizzlies. The Suns thought they was going to get one player, but the Grizzlies was actually offering up another player with the same last name. So, yeah, man.
First of all, it's funny that they would do it like that. I can just imagine these execs on the phone like, yeah, shit, we'll give you Brooks. Oh, hell yeah, why run it? Yeah, we'll do it for Brooks. And then they see it later like, and Marshawn Brooks like, whoa, Marshawn, we thought you were talking about Dylan Brooks.
See, the thing is...
Oh, hell no, we're not trading you Dylan Brooks.
From what I heard, the Wizards was the one in communication between those two teams. Because the Wizards was the one that, first sparked up the idea of trying to get this deal done with getting Ariza. And the Wizards was the only communication the Suns and the Grizzlies had between each other. So it's really the Wizards that went ahead and messed that deal up by saying the wrong Brooks or not specifying which Brooks that they were going to get.
Man, I got the timeline, and I'm not going to go through all of it, but it's pretty funny. Anybody who has ever been on Twitter, if you're a basketball fan, you know that Woj, we call them like Woj bombs. When anything moves in the NBA in terms of trades or free agency, Adrian Wojnarowski knows before anybody. Like, we actually joke because this past year, he was even messing up the NFL draft. Like, before they was calling people names, he was hinting because they did something where he couldn't just come out and say it. Yeah. So he was hinting around what would happen before it happened. And that give me a ton of respect for Woj because that means that teams got a tremendous amount of respect for him and trust for him that they give him this information like this. But this was his Twitter, and this is what made it funny. In 9:53, he said the Washington Wizards are in advanced talks on the deals to acquire Phoenix forward Trevor Ariza. League sources tell ESPN teams trying to finalize multi-team trade tonight. I was like, oh, this would be great to talk about. And then he comes back. It's part of a 3-team deal. Ariza to the Wizards, Kelly Oubre to the Grizzlies, and Austin Rivers, and 2 Grizzly role players to the Suns. That's how it started out. Then they come back. Washington, Phoenix, and Memphis have agreed in principle on a deal to include Wayne Selden and Dylan Brooks headed to the Suns, a 2020 Grizz second-round pick, and a conditional 2019 second-rounder to the Wiz, league sources tell ESPN. Then he come back. Clarification. Marshawn Brooks on his way to the Suns, not Dylan. That's when somebody was like, whoa, who? Sources with Zach Lowe, deal is in jeopardy over which Brooks, Marshawn or Dylan. The Suns believed it was getting in the trade would be put Dylan Brooks in the trade.
Yeah.
Zach Lowe said this is not a joke. Also, maybe if someone on the Wiz or Grizz has a Mel Brooks autograph photo that could grease the wheels. At this point, anybody whose last name was Brooks, they ass was on the hot seat.
Yeah.
So finally, man, they actually got it taken care of at some point. And for a while, the trade was straight up off the table. It looked like this whole trade wasn't going to work. Yeah. And this is scary because when you go to Kelly Oubre and tell him he was traded, 9 times out, I don't want to say 9 times out of 10, but a lot of times these players don't even get told they're traded. They hear it from their agent or on social media. So for it to possibly get to Kelly Oubre that you've been traded and then the deal be off the table, that ain't going to work now. You can't. We already know Kelly be gooning. You can't bring Kelly back after that. Like, his ass got to get traded. You got to move Kelly Oubre. And finally, they were able to make the deal work. The Wizards traded Austin Rivers and Kelly Oubre to the Suns for Trevor Ariza. Neither one of them Brooks boys had to bust a move.
Yeah, they had to go ahead.
Stacks, is it a good deal, though?
I mean, for the Wizards part, I think maybe so. Like, only time will tell. I don't know at this. Like, originally, I thought they was trying to break up the squad and go ahead and try to start fresh or try to get some new pieces in there. Now it seems like they back committed to the squad. I know there was a lot of trade rumors involving Bradley Beal going around. I didn't hear any strong ones, but there was, some talks of Bradley Beal possibly getting traded. But this move makes me think that they're trying to get back to win now mode, which, I mean, let's be real, for the Wizards right now isn't realistic. Dwight Howard got a whole lot of
he's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, he got a whole lot of issues, so Dwight Howard got some things going on. John Wall is injured a lot. And honestly, probably their most consistent piece, Bradley Beal, is the one that they was trying to trade. But I mean, like I said, only time can tell as far as, if this was a good move or not. Honestly, it depends on what are your realistic goals if you're the Wizards. Like, if you're trying to win, like, you're not going to win a championship. So if you we're going to try to get to the second round, and maybe if they get to the second round, maybe this was a good move for them. But honestly, I don't see, exactly the vision of what these guys are actually trying to do out here. I honestly don't know. But for the Suns, I feel like it was a pretty solid deal. They got a little bit younger. Getting Kelly Oubre, I like Kelly Oubre a lot. And I feel like in Phoenix, he'll probably get a better chance to, to actually come out there and hoop. I think they got Josh Jackson starting at the 3 right now. And honestly, Josh Jackson hasn't looked as good as I thought he was going to be, coming out of, Kansas. So I feel like, maybe Kelly Oubre has an opportunity in Phoenix to be a part of that young core and, grow and build with those guys. So, I mean, it depends on what side you're looking at. And what are the honest expectations?
Yeah, I agree with you on Oubre. Like, I'm actually an Oubre fan, and if LaParis was here on the show today, I'll tell you what he would say, because he won't let it go. After the Wiz gave Otto Porter that max, LaParis said, man, I feel like you can get the same thing you getting from Otto, from Kelly Oubre for cheaper. Wiz fans came at LaParis's neck. Just general hoops fans came at LaParis's neck, and then after Otto somewhat, I don't want to say he regressed, but his numbers dropped and the Wiz started to struggle, and Kelly was hooping. And then LaParis is like, see, so LaParis, I got you, bro. If you was here, I know what you would be saying right now. You've been trying to tell everybody you can get the same production from Kelly Oubre. My thing is this. I don't really understand the trade from either team's standpoint. The Suns are so bad, they 5-24. They 5-24, they got the worst record in the league. The Wizards are 11-18. This deal ain't gonna make either one of those teams better. It's not.
Well,
it's not. I'm looking at Kelly Oubre
trying to get better. I think they just wanted to go ahead.
What they trying to do? Like
Trevor Ariza. I think they're trying to tank for Zion.
Wow. They was doing that with Trevor. They was doing a damn good job of it. Now, Trevor was getting that bag though. Like, Trevor getting $15 million this year, bro. So I guess they won and getting $15 million off their books. Kelly Oubre is getting under $5 million this year, bro. Like, he getting under $5 million, man. So,
but eventually, I mean, if he plays well, you're gonna have to re-sign him. So, you're gonna be paying more than $15 million for him. Maybe
for Kelly?
Yeah.
Hell no. More than 15 for a year?
Man,
hell no.
Listen, the contracts these
hell
players
no.
been getting spayed. You never know.
Hell no, Stacks.
You never know.
Oh, we know. Hell no, Stacks.
You never know. But
he didn't get more than 15.
If he average.
Yeah, man, I just don't understand it. And, even, I guess, Phoenix fans are going to come through and say, yeah, we want to tank. And, we want to get that money off our books. And I'll say, okay, well, I guess I understand that. And then I'm looking at Washington like, well, what the hell were you guys doing? Like, yeah, I really don't get it, man.
I don't know. I don't understand it either.
I'm shook.
I mean, it makes a little bit more sense for Phoenix, getting a younger player, another young piece to add to their young core. But for what are you trying to do? Like, are you trying to win or are you not? Even if you are trying to win, it's not like Trevor Ariza puts you over the top. Like, oh man, if we just had us 1-3-and-D player. You know, we finals contender. Like, no, you're still not that. So I honestly don't know.
Still not that.
I don't know what they was expecting, but yeah. Not the most exciting trade, but you know, the first trade of the year, pretty solid. Brought some fire moments.
It was exciting simply because of that Brooks shit. Like, that had everybody like, wait a minute. This deal is really messed up. I can just see them like, oh yeah, we're gonna get Dylan Brooks. Pretty good player. I remember watching him at Oregon. Yeah. Whoa, we didn't say Dylan. We said Marshawn Brooks. Like, that whole thing right there made it more interesting than it probably needed to be.
In China. Like, what y'all talk? What y'all thought?
Let's go ahead and move forward, man, to our pick'em game. Stacks, you won the pick'em game last week, bro.
Oh yeah, I told man that was light work.
You
that
shot.
Was light work. That was light.
Man,
work.
that was beginner's luck. I don't know why. Every time somebody be kind of new to the show and they do pick'em game, they win the first like week, maybe 2.
Oh, now
and
you
then I raise this powerful hand and smacketh thee. You're not. Let me go ahead and tell you, the pick'em game for this week, we're going back to the NFL because I want to make sure you got all the luck you need. I figured you did good with the NFL last week. If I go to the NBA and beat you, you'll feel cheated. So we're going back to the NFL. The pick'em game for this week is, according to you, the number 2 and the number 3 best teams in the AFC. That's right. The New England Patriots will be in Pittsburgh to do battle against Big Head Ben Roethlisberger. Who you like in this game, bro?
As much.
Should be easy.
It is easy. As much as I want to say Pittsburgh, I gotta go New England, man. It's just something about that team when it comes to playing the Steelers. The Steelers just can't get right, man. They just can't get right. There's always something going on inside of that game that cost the Steelers that game. It's just like Tom Brady and Belichick just got them boys' number. And I'm going to just leave it at that, Spade. I'm going New England all the way. It was never a doubt in my mind. You know, once I heard the pick, once you served it up to me, I already knew I was spiking back down with New England, man. Like you said, Brady hasn't been playing at his best. You know what I'm saying? And, like, this could be the start of Brady getting into that playoff form, Spade. And this game has a lot of, you know, playoff feels to it because these guys could meet later on down the road. But I definitely got to go New England. Like I said, the last matchup, what was it? Last year they played them with the whole McDonald touchdown, or was it a touchdown and all of the other stuff? No, was that Jesse James or it was one of those tight ends? They know, like, Spade. I just
that was James.
I just got to go New England. It just the same feeling I got when I picked the Cowboys last week. I'm getting that same feeling again. I got to go New England.
All right. Check this out. James Conner might not play.
Oh, yeah, that
James Conner got an ankle injury. That's the only thing that had me on the fence about this game, man. The Steelers are currently on a 3-game losing streak. And I feel like it's time. I do. Oh, man. You said something in your speech that kind of shook me. You said Belichick and the Patriots got the Steelers' number. And that takes me back to the saying I got about the Patriots. If they can't beat you, they'll cheat you. You said they got their number. They probably got more than their number. They probably got their playbook, they calls. Listen, man. Hey, you talking to a Dolphin fan. I know about the Patriots. They will record your practice. They'll pump fake crowd noise through the speakers. They'll deflate some footballs. They will make up something called a tuck rule. Listen, man, the Patriots, they know how to get their doves, but it's something in me, Stacks, and it's telling me it's the Steelers' time, bro.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel like it. I don't know, man. This James Conner thing messing me up. I need somebody from Pittsburgh to let me know if James Conner playing. If James Conner playing, I want the Steelers. But I don't know. I'm sitting here looking, man, and saying he has been downgraded to doubtful. It is doubtful that he will play. Damn. James, I need to know what you're doing, bro. Hit my phone.
Say this ain't it, brother. You don't die on this hill. Don't die on this hill. You do not want to be the guy.
It's speaking to me.
It's speaking to me. You don't want to be that guy, but you know I can't stop you. You want to go ahead and pick them Steelers? That's on you. That's on you. You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
But when I seen that text message, kind of like when I sent you last week,
bro, don't text me, bro.
I just want to make sure you
bro, don't text me, bro.
You remember this moment.
Bro, don't text me, bro. Oh man.
Yeah, you know that sounds like a person that knows you just made a mistake.
No.
That sounds like a person that just made a mistake.
I just don't know, man. I don't know if you know this or not, but the Steelers just came off a loss. I mean, the Patriots just came off a loss. They just played my Miami Dolphins. We beat them.
Spade, do you know how
we take care of business?
Once in a lifetime that win y'all got was
it wasn't
like, what is y'all record against the Patriots?
That one once in a lifetime.
Do you know y'all?
It's probably about 500. I keep telling people we split with the Patriots. I keep telling people they think I'm joking. Every year we split with them. We split with them. I bet you it's eerily close to 500.
I wish your stat guy was here.
Where are you?
I wish your stat guy was here because we need to.
He done called out 2 weeks in a row. Damn it! I'm about to write him up.
We need to know those numbers because
Stacks.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I think I'm going Steelers, bro.
Well,
I feel it. I think I'm going Steelers. With or without James Conner. Give me Pittsburgh.
That's bold. That's bold. I like the way you kind of talked yourself into it because, you know, little by little.
I didn't talk myself into it.
Little by little, you sound a little bit more confident in that pick, and it sounded like you was talking yourself into it. That's what it sounded like. But you know, you
I feel it in my heart, bro.
Just know you made this bed, and you're gonna have to lie in it. You know, once you see them Steelers fall to defeat.
I mean, truth be told, even if I go down 2-0, the way I get down, the God-given ability I have at picking games, I'll be back before you know it, man. Before you know it, you'll be losing. Even if I go down 2-0, I'm still winning. That's how I do.
You already have the prospect of you being down 0-2 already in your mind. You defeated yourself.
No, I don't.
You defeated
That's
yourself,
not what
brother.
I said.
But, you know.
That's not what I said, bro. I feel like you lying on me right now, and I got a problem with that. Let's go ahead and move to the last segment of the show before you make me upset. Last segment of the show today, folks, is called the Strong Arm Performer of the Week. It is a very prestigious award. Super prestigious award in podcast land, given to a male or female athlete who raised his or her level of play to ensure that their team got the victory. Stacks, you are on the hot seat. You new at this. You probably don't know how to give the award away as good as I do. But just do your best. Who is your Strong Arm Performer of this week and why?
When I'm
Yo,
Spade,
let's start with
I know a guy with a fire step back in the NBA. A lot of people call it a travel. You feel me? And I'm going to use his own move against him because I kind of want to recognize what he did with the 50-point triple-double. But I'm going to step back away from that.
Oh, somebody did that? I didn't even know.
I'm going to step back away from that and give it to my man Kevin Knox of the New York Knicks, Spade. With this kid.
Wow, bro.
What this 19-year-old kid has been able to do as of late, it has been amazing. It has been amazing. He had a good game last week where he put up 26, and I feel like that kind of got the ball rolling for him. He got inserted into the starting lineup, and since then the kid has been balling. He put up 26 and 15 the other night, 26 points, 15 rebounds, and then he put up 17 points in the first half of a game against the Hornets, which they came back from down 20 plus to go ahead and win that game. Shot 7-10 in the first half of 17 points. Spade, I gotta go ahead and give it to the young man Kevin Knox, man. If you're listening, if you're watching the show right now, just know, you know what I'm saying, your boy be seeing the work you're putting in, and us in New York, you know, we appreciate that. We appreciate it.
Wow, Kevin, that's probably your first and last Strong Arm Performer.
Oh no, it won't. Hey, he's gonna be around for years to come. For years to come. Spade.
I need to call you in my office after the show because I don't feel like you understand the importance of this segment. This ain't the time to fanboy. I never give it to the people that I'm a fan of. I give it to who deserve it.
All right. No,
he definitely deserves it. My eyes this week and pick somebody. Let's see. Eyes closed. I'm just gonna pick somebody. Boom. What do you know? I got somebody deserving right here. What if I told you somebody had 50 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 steals, and a victory against LeBron James and the LA Lakers. That's a strong arm performance right there, Stacks.
But I thought it was
We're talking
strong
about
arm
some 17
performer.
points.
I thought it was strong arm performer of the week, not strong arm performer of the day.
That was
of the day.
yeah,
Is
but
it the
that
day or
one
the week?
performance was the performance.
So pretty much you could hoop for one day and you could get performer of the week from that one day.
I mean, if you gonna hoop a 50-point triple double, them shits don't happen all the time, Stacks. That's a week.
If you just handing it out like that, then that's your prerogative.
Oh no. This wasn't handed out right here, man. This was earned.
I award consistency.
You said,
but that's just me.
You say your boy had 17 in the first half one game, right? And then what you say? He say he had 17. I mean, I guess that's impressive. My boy had 18 at the Strizipe. 18 of 19 from the Strizipe. Okay? And listen, everybody was hitting me up like, Spade, James Harden get to the free throw line too much, yeah. And I said, you know what? Your favorite player would get to the free throw line more if he could make the damn free throws. LeBron don't want to get to the charity stripe. He was 2 of 6. You don't think LeBron can get to the stripe? LeBron can get to that stripe any damn time he want to, but he's scared to take them. He was 2 of 6. He don't want to shoot free throws. That's not my fault. That's not James Harden's fault. All right? LeBron, you know me and you, we go back. I was on your website, bro. You featured my YouTube channel on your website. We go back. You got to work on your free throws, LeBron. Somebody got to tell you the real. I like a guy who can come out there and give me a 50-point triple-double like James Jeffrey Harden. I don't think Jeffrey is his middle name, but I like it. For that performance, James, you are my strong arm performer of the week. Stacks, that's a strong arm performance right there.
Of the day.
17 first half points.
I award consistency.
Steven Adams just had a 17-point first quarter against Jokic.
You award a night. You award one night. I award consistency, Spade. And not everybody can be like me and look at a player's consistency pattern. And take that into account. Some people just look at one game in the NBA and like, you know what? He outperformed everybody for the week because of this one game,
He did. Exactly. Bingo. You said something right there,
Definitely didn't, Spade.
Hey,
Definitely
right there,
didn't,
you said something.
I understand, if you can't open your mind up to a term called consistency, but that's okay. We'll get you there one day.
Bro, can I just say, this ain't even about strong arm performer of the week. I'm just asking questions. Would you say LeBron is the best player in the league?
No.
I mean, I would. You wouldn't?
No.
Who would you say it is?
I would say Kevin Jeffrey Durant.
Stop it. Don't ever give him Jeffrey as a middle name.
Kevin.
But we reserve that middle name for GOATs. First of all, we all know it's LeBron. I just want to this don't mean nothing. I'm not throwing shade. I don't want y'all to feel like I'm throwing shade. In that game right there, LeBron was -9, bro. His plus and minus was -9. And James Harden plus minus was +14. That's the kind of guy I want to play with. Stacks, if you was going to play right now, you know how you like to do your 3v3s. Let's say you guarding Fredo. Fredo probably dropping you off. I'm gonna just paint a picture. Who would you want your teammate to be? Knox or this guy right here? James Jeffrey Harden.
I'm going Kevin Knox. 6'9", can get
Stop
to the
it.
rim.
Let's hurry up and get out of here because you just gonna.
This is hands down.
You just gonna lie.
I got the most serious face on right now. The most serious face.
I know, and that's what's concerning. You wait till I tell Chrissy, she gotta keep an eye on you, kid. Anybody who can lie with that straight up a face, that shit is concerning to me.
Kevin
Listen, folks, we finna get up out of here. Stacks gonna keep lying to y'all, man, and I love y'all too much for y'all to sit here and put up with that. Kevin Knox wouldn't take Kevin Knox over James Jeffrey Harden. He wouldn't. You can ask him. That's all we got for today's show, man. Make sure you check out my nephew Stacks Montana. This guy is a YouTuber. Got great content. If you like gaming stuff, he got that. If you like IRL stuff, he got that. His jumper just okay. It's prettier than mine, but it don't go in more than mine. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? I can't lie to y'all. I have to look y'all in the face and tell you the truth. His his form look good. It don't really just be going in the hoop like that.
Come on.
At any rate, check out his YouTube channel. Hit him up on Twitter. Let him know he's out of his mind for giving that award to Kevin Knox. And make sure you tune in next week. Stacks, so you coming back next week?
Oh yeah, I'll be here, man. Whenever you need me, I'll pull up. You feel me?
He a regular.
Oh yeah, I'll get the job done.
He a regular now. That's all we got for today's episode, man. As always, thank you guys for checking us out. You know, you still got homework. Anybody who likes sports talk, if they like it real, unfiltered, unbiased, you got to tell them about Strong Arm Sports Podcast. Until next week, folks, that's all we got. We out. Peace.